Okay, so before we get started with the Windy City Major, I wanted to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Hotel Engine. So if you guys are looking for a way to save money, definitely hit them up. I'll have a link down in the description somewhere so that way you can go ahead and get signed up. It's absolutely free. Basically, you're getting corporate discounts on hotels. There's a super easy to use app. There's 24/7 customer service, and did I mention that it's free? So be sure to check them out. They're trying to maybe get into paintball, so it'd be cool to be able to get that all involved. And of course, you guys can save some money. So go ahead and check out the link down in the description down below. All right, so with the layout dropping, I wanted to go through like usual and just discuss it. So I think it's going to be aggressive. I think that's how this is going to be. There's going to be a lot of drop shots. A lot of people are just kind of getting dinked out. That's just my opinion right now. But just like every other time we do this, I wanted to give a brief little disclaimer that I could be completely wrong. Maybe this weekend I get out to the field and see, oh, this shot isn't there. So everything here, take it with a grain of salt, but at least will help you out. So from this home bunker, you do have some good shots right off the break right here to catch anyone trying to float back here. This also could catch players trying to run and gun out. It's just going to be super difficult to catch these guys going out just because of how close they are to the box. But if they try to take a step out and float and shoot, you can at least shoot up the gut and be able to do that. So looking at the red ones. On the snake side, shooting into that God bunker and past it. So these are going to be blind shots though. So I think if someone is playing the snake and they hug it either on the inside or hug it really close, they still might be able to make it in, but you might be able to kind of mess with them a little bit there. Same thing on the Dorito side. You have a blind shot over this wing going into that Dorito 1 and also into the gap between the Dorito 1 and Dorito 2. So it is going to be blind, but it could be something that is able to catch someone trying to go deep. Maybe you can stop them from diving in and just going right around. Just something to think about. So these cans, what I like is actually this very similar going out. It looks like everything's kind of like just staggered out in the same way, at least off the break. So these cross shots off the break, I think, are going to be pretty good. This guy is able to shoot cross and shoot into the snake gap. So this one, or sorry, into that God gap. I think that this guy coming off and shooting is going to be the one that would probably be able to eliminate that snake burner. But again, we'll see when we actually get out to the layout. And then if someone's trying to run up and then dive across, this guy can catch them going up like that. You do have a shot going into the snake, but I feel like because of the way that this mini W is, you also have this. I feel like if they stay really low and just crawl, they're going to be able to go right past that. Even if you're shooting up over here as close as you can, I think it's dropping too high. But it's at least something that maybe if they're trying to dive across, you can shoot that gap, maybe freak them out and they jump back in, or it's forcing them to come all the way up here and you can reset before they even get a chance to get into the 50 snake there. The heads up here, you do have that heads up shot from your mirror, from can to can. So I would be careful of that. So if you're showing a little bit, it's sort of blind. You might be able to see an edge, but that shot going across there is going to be dropping in pretty well. This is blind right here, but at least you can throw something into this gap. Now this is where you're going to be able to shoot more of those heads up shots. So if there is a player in this Dorito, they are going to be able to wrap and shoot back at you, but you can probably roll off a little bit and shoot into this gap, or you can at least put them into this gap right here to stop them from making that move from the little brick into the Dorito 3. So just some options. With the snake side can, so same thing, you have a shot going into this Dorito side. Looking at this now, I think a lot of teams are going to send guys out to here shooting that cross and then maybe going to the heads up, because I don't really know what cross shots you'll be able to keep, but at least this way this guy is able to see what's happening on the Dorito side. Did they stop here? Did they keep going? Did they try to come up? You know, all of that stuff. And then this guy is able to shoot that snake side, see how far did they go. Did they look like they kept going? And you can, you know, call like a snake alert call because of just the way that the snake is set up. And then at least here, if the guy goes past there, you know he's going to be in here somewhere before someone sees him. So that's when this guy can switch and shoot the heads up. But I think these cans on the cross is going to be really, really good. And that is that. So what I'm going to do is start from the back line, and then I'll go to the tapes and then through the center, and we'll go ahead and talk about the bounce shot possibilities as well. All right, so let's look at the Dorito side. So this Dorito 1, and I try to do it in different colors. I stole my son's markers, so I have a bunch of different colors I'm able to do here. So there are some inside shots. Now remember, with all of these, they can do that same shot back to you. So don't think that you're only going to be able to shoot them. They can shoot that same shot back. So in this Dorito 1, it's a little bit larger, which is good, but when you're shooting these cross shots, if they shoot this same one back, because of the way that the Dorito comes up like that, you need to make sure that you're playing this tight, because they might be able to drop it in and make it where they're able to clip you that way. And then of course you can shoot into here, so if they haven't gotten into the snake and they stopped, I mean, this is a super long shot. I wouldn't have this guy be the one that does this job, but at least he can shoot that to make sure that they're not going into the snake. You do have a heads up on your mirror and also into this other gap. So again, you can shoot, and then if you see the move, you can roll off a little bit and maybe shoot the next gap to see if they're trying to go further. But I don't think that this is going to be the bunker that you're going to really hold the tape for. Now going up into the next Dorito here, sorry for that weird cut. I thought my camera died on me for a second. So these orange lines are the ones that have that shot. This guy really needs to play tight, but there are a lot of drop shots that you can at least shoot back. So if you're kind of pinched, like you can't move up, maybe just look inside and start throwing some of these in here, because you might be able to clip someone that maybe their head is showing a little bit too much, maybe they're backed off a little too far, maybe they stand up, whatever it might be, and then you can always shoot the tape. You can wrap and shoot up into this brick. You won't be able to see them if they're really backed off, but you might be able to see if at least they're there. And then of course shooting back into the can, which is what I think we had talked about already. Shooting into your mirror, and then this is kind of a blind shot. I'm not sure how much this Dorito will be used. It might be used as like a way to secondary up, but I don't know. Right now, I'm not liking that one too much. This little brick, you can of course wrap and shoot. This is like the brown, I guess you could say. I have this dashed line because that's going to be a blind shot, shooting into there. I'm not sure how much people are actually going to be playing that that snake corner, just because it is a small cake. Not that it's impossible to play, but I don't know if it's going to be that useful. So if someone does go there, you might be able to shoot a blind shot into there. And of course, shooting into the center brick, into the other brick, if they're over here, you got some problems. But to secondary over, you can wrap and then just dive. Now you can do a lot of damage from this Dorito. If there's someone in here and they're backed off a little bit, maybe they're trying to shoot the snake, you're able to shoot them out of the brick. You can drop some shots into this snake too, into the wing, into the can. So you have a lot of these inside shots, and then on the wrap, you would be able to have those shots as well. Yeah, you'd be able to have a lot of those same shots as well. So if there's no one on your tape, now you can play this outside and shoot into all of those zones there and into those bunkers. Now with this little W, I'm not 100% sure what would be best, just because maybe it is good to play, but I don't like being like super cramped. Maybe it's good. I don't know. There are some good shots. You can see that those pink lines, and because it's a little W, you have that little nub over the top, so you can shoot into there. So just something to think about. But I feel like it might be better to try to get over into their Dorito, and then you can really start shooting into the side of people. And of course, if you have someone there, you have someone behind you that's able to shoot the gap to stop them from filling out wide, which allows you now to just wrap, and they won't be able to shoot you easily. They could probably maybe sit a little bit low and shoot, but I don't know, that's when you tuck in. I mean, that's playing paintball, right? All right, snake side. So first I'm gonna do the God in the snake corner, or the God bunker. So I don't think that this is gonna be good to stop the snake. This is gonna be like a delay and then go in if you need to stop there, or you dive in and shoot the inside. You can shoot a blind into there. I guess you can see it a little bit, but that slope will probably mess up your shot a little bit. So it is going to be a little bit blind, probably. You have a heads up shot. Well, heads up, I mean a straight shot going into the towers. and or into that tower, and then the can and the Dorito. But I don't think that this is going to be one of those bunkers that you want to get to and try to shut down the snake. If you have someone in the snake, this wouldn't be bad to get to. I think there's some other bunkers that are probably better for this, but if you get here, at least you can shoot their mirror and see if this guy's trying to go in, and then you can at least warn the other player someone's in there with you. This snake corner does have some shots, but it's a small cake, and there's nothing around it. So I've seen like Dan Holiday play something like this before, but I don't know that I would want to go and play that, just because it's not going to be fun having to fight out of there and holding shots like those cross shots. And this is a blind that's able to come in as well. That's a blind that's able to come in as well. It's just going to get real small real quick. Now, to dive there and then use it as a secondary, maybe it could be something that helps you maybe just go around and up, but I don't know that this is going to be good to help fight out of. Now, the snake gets really, really interesting. The snake is one of those that I think you're going to be able to get to the 50 snake pretty easy once you're in here. There are going to be some shots that are able to drop in. So let's start in this orange one. Remember, they have the same shot back to you, but this shot on the inside is able to shoot that gap. So if you hear, remember I talked about gap calls. If you hear that gap, you guys have a call for that this guy's about to go. This guy can throw a couple and might be able to clip this player. The wing, if they're playing a little bit sloppy, you should be able to shoot them there. And then on the outside, you can shoot into that God bunker. Now, the opposite side of that is they can shoot that same one. It might be a little bit high, but it also could be that you pop the top, shoot a couple, and then dive around. And then once you're here, you're safe. Once you're able to crawl up. Well, actually, let me double check that. So they can catch you a little bit on the move. So maybe this isn't that bad to get to. Now that I'm seeing this, you guys are seeing this all in real time. This wouldn't be bad if they're still in the snake one, because I think you will actually be able to catch them here. So you would force them out into this snake two instead of coming up to the 50 snake. So I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not sure that this is going to be the best one to be at, but at least you can shoot this this crawl around here as that player comes around. Yeah, you will be able to shoot this. So, okay, I might be taking back some of my words that this would be a decent spot if they're in the snake one. If they're past there, then I think they can still come around this outside and go up. But this might actually be decent. Yeah, I don't know. Never mind what I said before. Test this one out. This could be a good bunker to stay at and help out your snake. From this snake 2, I'm going to call this the snake 2, not the little W. Those inside shots, again, this outside wrap. Now, it's going to be a little bit more difficult just because you have some blinds that can come in this way, but this outside wrap, you do have some shots going into a couple different bunkers, and then this one I have the dotted because it's the same line. So you have the same shot to the Dorito one and this tower. So being able to shoot that. Now I think the snake players that can get really creative and go here or go up and then are moving around doing different things, those are the ones that are going to be real successful, just because of the way that there's some good shots here. There are some great shots from the 50 snake. You have some shots, I know it's getting a little bit busy here, but this like darker blue line, so the thinner one, you have that shot into that gap. You can come up and shoot into that wing, maybe catch them off guard. You have a shot into the can as well from the inside. If you play the outside and they don't have someone on the tape, you might be able to wrap a little bit, shoot into that can, stand up, shoot into this tower. So there's a couple different options that you have. If you can get to their side, their snake 2 is pretty good. So of course, going up across and shooting their Dorito 3, and then some other shots going in, and then of course on the wrap, and then of course you get to their snake 1, you're going to have some good shots. It might actually be better to stop at their snake 2 if you can, just because it's a little bit larger of a bunker. It's the small wing, but it's bigger than a little cake. So you're able to play around a little bit and just see, okay, what is it that I can fight? Who is it I can fight? Maybe you're stopping them from moving. Maybe you're just pulling guns and then letting the D side go to work. So this might be kind of the spot that you want to get to, but I don't know. I might be changing my mind after this weekend, so who knows. All right, let's get to some of these center bunkers. So these 2 towers, it's the same run to go from here to here. So because of that, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see if players are both going to filter up, because then you're able to fight out of a tower instead of a can. I prefer fighting out of a tower, and just personally, instead of a can, I just like the shape of them and being able to gun battle out of there. And you have a lot of the same shots. So from this, let's go to the Dorito side first. You can shoot into the snake. So if they're trying to come around here, you can shoot into the god, into the wing, and heads up into the home. Of course, shooting into this gap, and also into these other gaps here. So you have a lot of these shots that you had from the can, but now you can fight a little bit, and you're changing the angle a little bit. I personally like to get into spots that I don't have to gun battle. I'd rather catch the player on the move or keep pressure through that gap so that they can't move, or they have to try to force it and then end up getting shot. So me personally, I like that. I'd rather not put myself in a 50-50 gun battle. From the snake side, you do have these inside shots as well. So there are some good gap shots there. There's a blind going into there. And then of course you can shoot into the head of the snake, so that top section, and then past the snake too. So maybe if they get past here, you can move from here to here. I don't know. So we'll have to see. I think I am starting to like this God Bunker more. I'm sorry, my snake players. I think I am starting to like this a little bit more, because you do have this channel shot right here. But if they really hug it, I wonder if they can stay hidden enough and get up into that 50 snake. I guess time will tell. All right, so with the wings, so they're both slanted this way, okay? So these little slants are going to the Dorito side, which will change some shots. So let's go snake side first on this one. So you have some shots. This is going to be a little bit blind. It's only going to be a high shot because of that little nub for the little W. You can shoot past there. If they crawl up, you can't see this from here. You can't see that at all. So that's why this guy being here might actually be, I am changing my mind. This is going to be a good spot to shoot there. Welcome to my brain sometimes trying to figure things out. And then also this tower, so really you're only able to see the move, or if they try to wrap and go. And then same thing with the can. You're not going to be able to shoot them heads up because you're shooting the outside of it. The inside shots, you have this shot, same thing. If they're trying to take this inside route, you could probably catch them. But if I was gonna go here, I would probably just come here to shoot these gaps. That's probably what I would do. And again, we'll see this weekend. This Dorito side wing seems a little bit stronger just because I can shoot that gap and that gap. I'm able to shoot into the snake gap as well. Now if they get into the snake, I guess you could always hop over and shoot that way, but just, I don't know. That's, again, the creativeness. I mean, that's what paintball is, just trying to get creative. So yeah, so shooting those gaps from that wing, that's going to be maybe, I guess it's about the same amount of shots. So just knowing that you have those shots, whether it be that you switch these guys so that way the snake doesn't have the shots that they had before, or you switch to the outside so that way you can hold those tapes or be able to shoot into them at least. This snake is or snake side wing might be better to filter up into this brick. Me personally, I'd rather get further up there and go bunker some people. That's just me, but I guess we'll see. But there are some gap shots from here, and because it is a larger bunker, you can kind of tuck in a little bit more. It's not the best to battle out of that slanted spot. It's just not going to be as easy. And of course, you have to watch for your feet, because if it gets a little overinflated, those corners come up. All right, now going into the very center. So let's go snake side to Dorito side. So snake side, again, you're going to be able to hold this, but you wouldn't be able to shoot this person heads up. Now I think that they probably will have a bounce shot off here if you're wrapping. If you're not wrapping, you should be fine. And then of course shooting the heads up to maybe stop them going into the snake. And of course shooting here. So you would just be closer to catch them as they were coming up. The inside, you do have shots into this Dorito side. So again, if you came here and you were on this side, they have to come over to the other side of the snake 50. to shoot you. So you'd have to, you can play this and still have a snake, just knowing that you might need to switch real quick and shoot and then go back. But you can hold these gaps. This one's a little bit blind, but if you came here with a good amount of paint and you're just pumping, they won't have an easy time being able to get through there. Now this guy can wrap and put paint back on you, but that's when you can roll off a little bit and shoot more towards here instead of shooting the edge. Might get a little bit hairy, but at least if they go into here, now they have to shoot completely blind and hope that they're getting in the right spot. But you can keep shooting this gap, and then same thing with this one. So they are gonna have some shots back at you. It's not 100% safe. It's not like the Sunshine State Open where, or Major, where they had those two wings that you could get to, and in certain spots you were able to block out a lot of people and just shoot a gap, and they had to just commit through it. Coming across to this center smaller brick, I don't know that I'm really going to want to play this too much just because they are small, but you do have some shots to hold the snake. It's going to be a little bit better to shoot the Dorito side. The downside is that they can stand up and shoot down on you, so that's going to make things a little bit more difficult. Now from this Dorito brick, you have a lot more options. One is a little bit blind, but you can shoot into this gap, so you can stop them there. If they haven't gotten into the snake, you can shoot here, so that way you're able to shoot that gap. And you have eyes through the center a little bit. They'd have to come through this way and bunker you this way. So you'd be able to shoot that way. And then if they're trying to come around here and dive into the snake too, you have a shot going in where you can just throw paint across the top and maybe catch a pack as they're going across. But this one might be a little bit better to shoot the Dorito side. It's a little bit more of a battle. That's the only thing I don't like with it, but it's something that you're able just to make it really hard for them to be able to come up, the Dorito side. On their brick, their small brick, of course you can shoot into the snake, the shot there, but this one's more guaranteed than this one. This one, if the person is playing this side, you're probably not gonna be able to catch them. And then you do have some good shots going in here. So if you can come here kind of unseen and basically let them get to this brick and you are still unseen, this gap, I think you should be able to shoot them in. This one is gonna be really hard to hold just because they can shoot the inside and wrap the outside to shoot back at you, and you're on your knees. So it's not gonna be real easy to fight from there. And then getting into their wings, so getting into their wings there, so their snake side wing, you have a lot better shots going into there. Of course, you can wrap and get some of these same shots. The inside shots, being able to put a lot of pressure on their Dorito side to let your Dorito side get up. And then from the Dorito wing on their side, you have some shots going in, and of course be able to shoot that snake gap. So all these gap shots, I don't know. I think that these guys, so these 6 bunkers, have some good shots that they're able to hold people. But it's not like they can stay there and just pump paint and no one's able to shoot back at them. So I think it'll be interesting to see how all that breaks down. All right, let's get into the bounce shots, or bounce shot possibilities. Let me rephrase that. So the bounce shot possibilities. These are not guaranteed. These are just ones that I saw that I went, oh, maybe. So let's go this time Dorito side over. So from the Dorito 1 off the other Dorito 1, I think if you shoot it a little bit lower, it'll bounce up into this can. It's a little bit iffy, but I think you might be able to do the same thing from the brick to shoot off there and bounce it off into the can. This one is not, I'm not super confident in, because you're so close. And also if this person's wrapping for you to shoot off there, I mean, I guess you could roll off and shoot there and maybe it'll bounce in, but yeah, it's a little iffy with that one. Off here from the Dorito side brick off this pin, I think it'll probably skip in. If they're playing real tight, I don't know that you'll be able to shoot them, but if they're just starting to get set up, maybe you can shoot off that pin into there. Let's go to this wing, like I said, Dorito side to snake side. So this Dorito side wing, this one is going to be a lot harder because it'd have to bounce back. But if they're in the process of coming across and you're not really sure if they're still in the snake 1 or not, it might not be bad just to shoot some there just to keep them in that snake 1 if they haven't moved yet. Or freak them out a little bit because they're going to feel paint coming behind them. But I think this might skip more across like that than in. From the home, this is definitely literally a long shot. Off the tower into the home. From the home, off the home into the can. This one might be too far of a bounce. This one I think might be possible. It's just that they need to be hanging out. If they're not hanging out, it might just bounce right past them. So if this one works, I think it'll be maybe a little bit better, because if you can get more of an angle going into the bunker, that way you're clipping them in the pack and making it real difficult for them to survive. And then the snake side, oh, I forgot to mention this Dorito one. So the orange one here, bouncing off this wing into the other wing. So if you start feeling bounces, what I had done before was you just change your position, start shooting high, tuck in, start yelling for help, you know, whatever. From this God, I think you can bounce off here into this wing as well. So just some possibilities there. But tell me what you guys think down in the comments down below. Again, thank you so much to Hotel Engine for sponsoring this video. Please go check them out. Again, it's 100% free. You don't need to worry about any hidden fees or anything like that. Click the link in the description down below and you're going to be able to get all set up with that. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, you're going to go save some money. It's definitely worth it. So tell me what it is that you guys think about the Windy City Major layout. And I'll see you all in the next video. And yeah, so remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.